Okay. So I have one question that I kind of know the answer to an extent, but I want to know how you got the name Sammy Joe and how you got the name Kylie. These are your nicknames, right? So
Yeah,
how did you get them? Where did it come from?
Do you want?
Yeah, I can start. Well, a lot of like the teammates, it was I think my sophomore year, watched this show called Dynasty on Netflix, and it was like a character that was named like Sammy Joe, and then Bree just started calling me
Yeah,
that.
it was Bree who came up with it and just called her Sammy Joe.
Because you don't have a middle name, do you?
I do.
You do.
It's
I
Claudia.
know Claudia.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sammy Joe from Bree from the show Dynasty.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Kayla.
Kylie is my 11-year-old self alter ego. So Jenna, of course, was my old coach back in club, and I used to like mess with her and call her Gemma, just like as a joke, like just messing around. And she was like, "Oh, well, if you're gonna call me by the wrong name, I'm gonna call you Kylie," and it just kind of stuck. So that's like our thing.
Now, when does she use that for you?
Like if I do something stupid, like Kylie.
So basically, like once a day.
Yeah,
No, I'm
multiple.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Multiple.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. So let's do a lightning round real fast. Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay. Lightning round. Ready? It's gonna go quick. So you got so there's no time to think. You ready?
Okay.
Favorite food.
My mom's lasagna.
Okay. Favorite food.
Chicken.
Chicken. Okay. Favorite music.
K-pop.
Yeah, like country.
Really?
Yeah.
Country.
Country.
Okay. Favorite place to take a vacation.
Greece.
Okay.
Any beach.
Any beach. Okay, that's it. Those are my questions.
Oh, that was hard.
That was
Okay.
quick.
Okay. The lightning round. We may
Lightning
come
round.
back to another lightning round.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe we can think of some for you.
Okay. All right. All right. So you know how much I love Germany.
Yes.
Okay. But let me tell you why, because we've never really discussed this. Okay. All right. So other than the United States, Germany is my favorite country in the world. Okay. When I was in high school, I took French and German,
Okay.
and then when I was in college, I took Latin and Spanish. German was my favorite language, and I watched The Sound of Music, sophomore year German class, still to this day my favorite movie in the world, and then it was like the '90 World Cup or something like that, and Germany was like awesome that year. And that's like what started this like passion about Germany. And the first time I went to Germany, it was everything that I thought it would be, but Americans' version of Germany is not like what Germany is as a whole. It's only like Bavaria.
What's
is
your
what-
favorite place in Germany?
Favorite place in Germany is Munich, but it's just the history of it. I'm
Yeah.
like a big history nerd. Like everything and anything history is my jam. I love it. But that's how, and this is like, I always wanted to coach a German player.
There you go.
So I've been around other German players, but you're the first German player that actually went to Germany, recruited,
Yeah.
and brought back to the U.S.
Snag them and bring them back.
Come on back. So yeah, so that's where my passion for Germany started, and it's still. Austria is pretty cool, but Austria is a little bit different.
Yeah.
I have a
So, yeah.
question for you.
Okay. All right.
Have you visited all of our hometowns like as a team, or no?
I try to stay away from towns like Little River, South Carolina.
Funny. But I was just gonna ask because I know you've been to Germany, but like, if you were to like visit one of like our hometowns, like whose would you want to visit first? Like just based on location.
Okay. I can't stand hot weather.
Okay.
Like I like to be hot on my terms. If I had the choice, I would rather be cold. That's why my office is like an igloo. You guys
Yeah.
understand this. It's always as cold as it can be. I don't know. I mean, I like Louisville. I'm kind of looking at the banners behind us. Louisville, been there. Emma, where she was from, small little town, but Lancaster, Pennsylvania, home of the Amish, right? Right. Like, I've been there. It's also Jenna, where I recruited Jenna from. I've never been to Istanbul, but I think
It's really pretty.
I think, that would be pretty cool to go to.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Lithuania, didn't go to Lithuania. Houston, been to Houston. been to Nashville, Knoxville, and Jacksonville. So I've been to most places. Obviously, when Jenna recruited you, she knew you. So as a head coach, you just go, hey, if you already have a relationship with her, then you kind of take the lead on her, and then maybe I take the lead on another player, and maybe Taylor does with another player. It's whoever you kind of have that really special connection with, because not every coach has the same connection with every player during the recruiting process. And sometimes somebody just has a better relationship, and you just, as a coach, as a head coach, you can't. It's dangerous to say, well, I have to be in charge. You got to back off and let whoever's got the better connection kind of take the reins, because it's just the way it is.
Or before you scare them off.
Or before I scare them off, because that's what I do. In my Shrek donut eating self status. Okay. All right. What do you got, Zamira?
Like, is there a place you really like want to move to? Like a place you're like, I want to like live there one day.
So I heard this on the radio a few months ago, and it was the disc jockey. It's not really a disc jockey anymore, but the lady on the radio, she said she's an introverted extrovert, and I was like, that is totally me. Like, left to my own accord, I'm a total introvert. I'm a homebody. Like, coronavirus changed a lot of people's lives. It didn't really change my day-to-day life. I mean, I'd rather be home with my children, being a daddy, than anything else in the world. And so I'm an introverted person, but because of my job, I can be extroverted. So for me, the perfect place to live is out in the country. See people on my own terms. When I want to see you, we can see each other, but get away from the city and the busyness of it. That's and if I could have a vacation home, it would definitely be in like the Tyrol, or in like the lower part of Bavaria, kind of like the Tyrol is in Austria, the northern part of Austria.
Okay.
And so if I could have like a secondary home, that'd be my spot.
That's funny.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So let me ask you this. Okay. During coronavirus, I underestimated the impact that it had on your lives. Totally underestimated, because it didn't impact my life that much. When everything started, how did it impact your life from an emotional, mental standpoint?
For me, when we first got sent home, so it was like spring break, and then it was like nobody comes back because everything's shut down. And then it was summer, but we were supposed to be in quarantine. That part didn't really change much, because back home things were not shut down. Everything was open. People were still out and about, probably when we weren't supposed to be, but that's just how it was, and that's just how everybody was. The beach, people are out on the beach, blah blah blah. So that didn't really change much for me, and until I got back here for school, where things are shut down and we were isolated, that was a little bit of a change. And then just battling the volleyball stuff in school, and having all of that mental stress, and then having COVID to worry about, it was a lot, for me at least.
Where did it take you mentally? Did you experience any depression, anxiety from it?
I mean, maybe a little, but I don't want to put a label, because I don't think it was that severe. I mean,
For you, it wasn't.
There were times where I was more down than others, but
Okay. Yeah, Zamir.
When it first started, it was really bad, because I didn't know if I could go home over the summer. I didn't know if I had to stay the whole time, so I was really stressed out, just trying to figure out what I can do, because Germany shut down all the way, and they were we're not letting anyone in, and then it was just super uncertain what's going to happen next. And then over the summer, when I finally got to go home, it got really stressful too, because I didn't know if I could come back to the US on the other side. So I was just stuck in Germany for the longest, not knowing if I can even come back to play in college. It all worked out, so that was good.
Yeah, it was interesting though, because I got to see a cool side of Zamira. When everything started, when everything got shut down, and you were trying to decide whether you could get home, we were able to still come in and serve some balls at you, and spend some time just kind of one-on-one, or maybe Jenna was Taylor were here. But then when everything, was kind of really ramping up and everything was really shutting down even more, you and Caroline came over to my house and I made you German food.
Yeah, that was nice.
Now, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. How is my Jaeger Schnitzel?
It actually is pretty authentic. Like, I'm not lying. It's pretty good. I do like it a lot.
So my German cooking is not bad.
It isn't.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So one of the things that a lot of coaches started about 8-10 years ago, they started talking about family. That was the buzzword. We have a family culture, a family environment, and yay for us. And I was unfortunately kind of one of the guys who said that same thing, but I honestly did not understand it. And so a few years ago, I started looking at my family and really trying to figure out what makes my family, my little 5 knuckleheads, my family. What makes us special? What makes us unique? And then with you guys in the context of the volleyball family, we started pulling in things that maybe from this person's family or this person's family. We started doing little things of the things that we've done. Okay, the Nerf Gun Fight. Okay, celebrating Oktoberfest. Pumpkin carving contests. What has been of those kind of family things? What has been your personal one that you've enjoyed the most?
That's a tough one.
And what would you want to see added this year? Because this year we got a little bit more normal life.
Yeah. Okay.
I like the Nerf Gun Fight. It brings out like the child in you. It's like really fun.
Yeah,
to just,
I
like,
think
go
I have to
around.
go with that too.
Yeah.
Like the Nerf Gun Fight was just like unforgettable. Like we'll like go down into like the hallway that we were all like ganged up at, and it's not the same.
No.
Like,
The best.
It's not.
No, the best though. Okay, so the best was this. 2 years ago, I'm like barricaded downstairs,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking there's no way possible anybody's going to get our flag, like the coaching staff's flag. And I don't know if you were down there, but I ran out of ammunition, so I started faking like I had darts and shooting. Well, the next thing you know, Zamira goes, you said something to the effect of like,
I don't know.
Someone-
Something with sacrifice.
yeah, someone's got to sacrifice themselves, and she just took off running up the hallway. And as she does, I'm just sitting there shooting her the whole time. and so I eventually ran out of bullets and Nerf darts, and I got got caught, and they took my flag. What was in terms of like road trips and little things we've done, whether it be going to doing laser tag and bumper cars, whether it be just going and hanging out at the beach, the scavenger hunt in San Antonio. What has been Hoover Dam? What was in your time here? What has been your personal road trip activity that we did that you loved the most?
My favorite, I think, was Kings Island. Kings Island or the beach, but Kings Island was definitely like my favorite because it was so fun. It was a fun day.
What was yours?
Probably Las Vegas, just because that's just like a place I wanted to see, and then I got to see it, so it was really
Yeah.
That one was fun too.
Yeah, Vegas is it is a completely different world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that place, and I warned everybody, you're going to see things there that you just need to kind of like block from your memory, but Vegas is Vegas. And the Kings Island, I mean, that place, that was just a blast. Watching you guys.
I mean, roller coasters are so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
Yeah, and I think the thing from a coaching standpoint is like, the way I look at my children, I will always look at my children that way. When I see Carson at 13, out playing baseball, I still remember the little boy that, run around and fall down and when your parents look at you, they still see, this little girl sometimes. And so for me as a coach and as a father to step back and watch you guys at Kings Island, you weren't the gritty, tough volleyball players that play hurt and play bloody. And, in that moment, you were just a little girl that your parents used to, watch trip and fall down and get up and go play and then go have fun. To me, that's what I saw you in that moment as. And I think that in all of our team bonding things, that's the stuff that I love the most about all of our team bonding stuff because the excitement of when we had like real bread, you know, like
Yeah.
really good bread or really good cheese, you know, that we shipped from Europe, you know, and to see the excitement in your face or in Erdy's,
Yeah.
you know, those were the moments that it's not about athletics anymore. It's just about us.
Yeah.
So when we talk about family, to me, that's what this feels like, you know. What do you guys have any questions? Any thoughts? So because I know I'm just.
No, that's okay. Actually, yes. What has been like your favorite like moment in your like athletic career, or it could be coaching, like your like all-time like favorite moment? It can be like your like something that you've done or like just coaching it.
Yeah. So I probably have a few, maybe a couple that are more self-gratifying. Climbing El Cap,
Yeah.
Yeah.
spending a couple nights on the wall, and that was a blast. Summiting Mount Rainier was pretty cool. In terms of like athletically,
Yeah.
I think, you know, as you guys know, my faith is everything to me. And I really feel and believe this, that God has blessed me more than what I deserve in a lot of different areas athletically. There's really not anything playing wise when I was an athlete that is more important to me than what I've experienced as a coach. You know, winning a state championship, winning a club national title, those were all great things. But honestly, 2019, watching you hit that last ball was arguably, and just that whole weekend.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and so when I don't know how often you guys play it out in your head, but you know, you kind of were in and out of the lineup all year, and right when we needed you the most, you found this courage that not a lot of players can find, and you crushed it in that FIU match.
I still get goosebumps
I
on
know,
the
right?
stuff block. Like
Yeah.
I think about it, it's like ka-jong.
Yeah, and they had match point on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
mean,
just so like,
Yeah, and the way you played, blocking, serving defensively, you know, the attacking was just kind of unconscious. You were just, every ball you hit was a kill,
yes.
you know.
It was like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So nice.
And then, you know, we call timeout, and I look at, we come up to the sideline, and I look at Kayla, and I look at her and I go, you want the ball? And she goes, without hesitation, yes. I look at Taylor, you and Kayla, let's go. Bang, game's over.
Dang.
You know, and it was interesting because a lot of coaches respond in different ways in those moments. It was interesting because you guys all rushed the court because that was a 6-year drought of not going to the conference tournament.
Yeah.
And I remember Chris Massaro was standing on the other side of the court, and he took a picture of you guys, and right above the picture, just my face, and I'm up and I'm staring at the ceiling and praying. And it wasn't from a coaching standpoint, you think you go through that much stress and all the the ups and downs, and you would be jumping up and down and screaming, but it wasn't about that for me. It was about really being grateful for what God had provided.
Yeah.
And then I cried.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
After the game was over with.
Yeah.
So, anyways, okay, two of my funniest memories over the last couple of years. I have a couple, but a couple of the two funniest memories. Kayla at North Texas, floor slippery.
Oh my gosh.
Taylor Hamble trucks her, knocks her down, and then the floor is sweaty, and I'm screaming at her
Yeah,
because the
like,
play's going on. Kayla, get up! And your legs are just going every which way because you
Those
kept.
floors so slick.
I was crying, laughing. That was pretty funny.
Wait, that was the same match where I like a ball like deflected off of the block, and I like had to run and go to the bleachers and like get it up. I like got the ball, but I remember you like grabbing my face
And
because
pushed
I
you
was
back.
about to
Yeah.
literally bang my face into the chairs, and you like grabbed my face, got me up, and pushed me back in the play.
Yep. Yeah, it's always interesting. Like Bree, maybe the same year where we were playing at Western, and she was gonna face plant into the scoreboard, and I was not about to tell her, stop.
she won't.
I'd rather just, let you guys make the attempt and then do whatever I can to like save you from getting hurt.
Yeah.
And man, Bree dives and she is pulling her face up, trying not to, literally eat the scoreboard, the score table. And I, in one motion, kind of pick her up, grab her, and push her back onto the floor. And it was the same thing. I knew you could make the play.
Yeah.
Because you were so close to it. But I knew those metal chairs were not going to taste good.
No.
And so I put my hands down, because you made the play, you hit the ground. I put my hands
And
down to
slid.
protect your face.
Yeah.
And then kind of grabbed you. It was like,
Come on.
get back in play, still going on. Let's
Yeah.
go. And then for Zamira, at Alabama A&M, you bounce that ball between the player's legs. So if you remember this, so the right back steps up, and you hit it over the block in between the player's legs. And I remember thinking, as soon as I saw that, be cool, be calm, like me, right? Everybody else is exploding because the head coach can't go and like start screaming and
Right.
jump because then you look like an idiot, right?
Yes.
You just got to be like, that's a good swing. Inside though, you're going, daggone, that was a good swing, And so that was one moment, and then the other moment was last season. You guys, I think you in particularly know me and know my body language. And I'm pacing the inline during practice one day. And I'm just pacing it. It's like a caged tiger.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm getting frustrated. And all of a sudden you keep peeking over at me. And right as I'm about to like pull the trigger and like get on the line, Zamira looks at me and she goes, no. You remember that?
Sammy's so good at that. She's always like, okay, it's time to call timeout.
Yeah, those are some of my funnier moments okay. All right, so let me ask you this, okay. When you guys were going through the recruiting process and we first talked, and usually you guys would talk to Jenna and you would talk to me, who was the coolest? Me or Jenna?
I didn't talk to Jenna, so
Oh, so clearly you're here.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
obviously.
Hey, we have other right sides. If you answer this wrong.
Chuck, you're,
No, I'm kidding. I know Jenna's
you're the
cooler than me.
coolest.
I know Jenna and Taylor are cooler than me, so that's fine. Okay, now why, how, during the recruiting process, Bill Feldman told me, he said, on the way to pick you up from the airport, he said, you have got one of the best, players that I've ever been in contact with, high moral, high character, and he was 4 years later, he was right. I mean, Zamira, your character, your morals, your values, I mean, when the day comes that you leave, I mean, on a personal note, it's going to hurt. Like, it's going to, like, legitimately hurt. And I'm trying to get her to stay for her 5th year. We've had this conversation. And so I'm still, my tactics aren't over yet. My recruiting tactics aren't over yet.
Gotcha.
But if this is your last year, I will go on record and on camera as telling you that you are one of the most incredible players I've ever coached in my career.
Thank you.
Okay? So
Thank
just
you.
know that, okay? Okay, but when you were deciding to come to MTSU, why MTSU? What was the thing that made you feel comfortable from coming all the way from Germany, coming from Little River, South Carolina? What was it that made you want to come here?
A big thing for me, I just felt like I was gonna be really taken care of. Like, I don't know, I just got the good feel from like the staff and the coaches, and then like meeting some of the girls, like that was really cool. Like meeting like Bree, because I knew like I was gonna play with her. Like she had like great goals for the team, so like that was also a big one. But like mainly like I just felt like I was gonna be real taken care of, and like I wouldn't have to like worry about adult things. I mean, I do have to worry about them, but like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yep. Zamir.
I don't know. I think I really just liked you. I thought you were funny when I like talked to recruiting, because like other coaches I talked to, they were more like business, I guess, and you just like ask me personal questions and then just FaceTime me when you were at home, and I was like, oh my God, okay, that's cool. And I really like that when we go to cool cities, we actually get to see them, because I really like seeing things and like seeing the world kind of, so that kind of helped with that, because I initially just came here because I still wanted to like play volleyball but also see another country, and that just really worked out.
Well, and to me that makes that if you're that makes me know that I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
The one thing that I would it would pain me to no end is if I ever had to look your parents in the eyes and tell them that you got hurt under my care. Because when you think about it, I mean, you're like their most prized possession, and for them to agree to let you come here means everything to me, and especially coming from another country, One of the things I told you guys, and I still tell our current recruits, is that volleyball is going to end one day. Definitively, it will end, okay? And there will come a day where you're like 65, 70 years old. Maybe you remember me telling you this, and your grandchildren are sitting on your lap, and they're looking at a picture of you playing, or a video, and they're cracking on your shorts, and they're like, "Grandma, you really wore those shorts?" and you're like, "Child, I look good, man. Be quiet, And it's my hope, if I've done my job right, that in that moment, you'll remember your time here and the memories. And I know there are some coaches that it's more business trips, but for me, it's not. For me, it's about helping you guys build memories, developing into the women you want to be. And, when I get text messages from Sloan, Sullivan, and or Dora, or Bree, or whoever it may be, and we still have that relationship and that connection, it's just a reminder that the things that we're doing here as a staff are the right things. It's a reminder that getting to know you on a personal level more than just you as a volleyball player is like it's what you should be doing as a coach, and not just treating you as a commodity. Like, if you do great, I love you, and if you do bad, go sit on the bench. You know what I'm saying? And just forgetting about you.
Yeah.
Makes sense? Okay, tell me about your childhood. Like, when you were a little girl, what were you like? What were you like as a little girl? Were you like energetic, loud, rambunctious? Were you kind of reserved? Like, tell me what you were like as a child. Zamir, you go first.
Okay. I don't know. I always liked sports, so I think I was really energetic, kind of too much. I know my parents were like, I was kind of annoying because I would always like jump around, like do cartwheels, like do jump ropes, I had a lot of energy. But I also was into music, so I used to play the clarinet until like 6th grade.
I did not know that.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's interesting.
We're gonna have to get a clarinet from the band department that you play.
It's at home, it's okay. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I like music and volleyball, but then I eventually gave it up for volleyball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. I mean, I did sports literally from when I was 5 years old. I was in the rec basketball. Me and my brothers, my mom stuck us in there early. I've been in sports, but as a child, I was pretty quiet.
You were?
Yeah, which is I was really
Which is
shy.
a shocker now.
Yeah, no, it is. I was I feel I mean, this is from what I remember. I just remember being really shy and not talking to people, when I was in grade school and stuff. But I was always in sports, and yeah, we were crazy at home. Me and my brothers, we were crazy at home. But then when we knew to not be crazy. Well, I did. They're a little crazy.
Well, your parents are no joke.
Oh no, they're no joke. Hardcore.
Yeah. I mean.
My dad got the look on us, and we were dang.
Yeah.
At home's not gonna be fun today.
No, and I can't imagine your parents. I mean, I think your dad, your dad reminds me of the guy that kind of walks quietly but carries a big stick. He doesn't need to be loud and rambunctious and boisterous. His calmness commands respect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Is that's pretty?
Yeah.
But I guarantee you that your dad probably growing up, probably same thing, Zamira.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what did your parents call you growing up? Was it Kayla, or did you have a childhood nickname?
I had a childhood. My dad. Okay, so. Well, first my mom had this nickname, and then I have it. But he used to call me Punky.
Punky?
Yes.
Nobody knows that.
I actually didn't have a nickname. I think it just started recently because when I came here, I go by Sammy because it's easier for Americans to pronounce. And then it kind of just adjusts to my dad, and my sister call me Sammy.
Do they really now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I never shorten anybody's names. That's the name your mama gave you. That's what I'm using.
Yeah.
And I never shorten names or you know what I'm saying? Just, for whatever reason. Maybe it's almost like kind of respecting your parents by like not, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I never do. But okay, tell me in terms of like funny moments in your life, okay? What is something that nobody would know about you that's pretty comical? I've got one that I'll tell you that you may need to go to the bathroom because you're going to pee yourself.
Oh,
It's pretty funny.
gosh. I don't even know. I'd have to think.
I don't know. One time in the winter, I like fell downstairs. I mean, it was kind of funny, and like after in the moment, it wasn't, but it was funny for my friends. It was
Okay.
like slippery, and I just
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay,
I can't think of one of me, but I can think one of my brother that's like actually pretty comical.
okay.
So we used to play outside like a lot, and one day my brother thought it was a really good idea to like, he had a skateboard, so he used to ride a skateboard like around the neighborhood, and then we were walking our dog, and so he had the dog, you know, pulling him on the skateboard, like that seems like a normal thing until like it just wasn't. Like he hit like a pothole or like hit a stick or something, I kid you not. Cameron flipped over my dog and like did like 3 front wheels, like 4 flips onto the asphalt road, and like it was just really funny. I could still like
And I can see him
his
doing
body
that.
going like in the air, and like my dog just like running off.
That's
Oh
funny.
my gosh, his back was all scratched up.
And I can see him doing that because he's,
My mom was
Yeah.
like, so whenever like we get hurt, she gets so like, you know how moms get. So she was like, get the Band-Aids, Kayla. And I had to like get them all bandaged up. And she was like taking pictures like, oh, look at you.
that's funny. That's funny. Okay, 21 years old. I, for whatever reason, went through this stage where I was really interested in architecture. Had no plans of being an architect. Okay. And my uncle's sister-in-law, okay, so it was my aunt's sister, they had built this brand new house, and I'm talking brand new, had only been in it for like, you know, a couple weeks, and this was like a really nice, you know, $600,000 home, okay, and I asked Susie's husband, hey, can I walk around and whatever, and he said, hey, absolutely, go ahead, walk around. So I opened this closet, and it wasn't finished, so like the floor joist, like so you have the floor, like what we walk on, right? Well, underneath that, what supports everything are joists, okay? Well, in between those, you know, you put insulation for like keep your house warm or cold or whatever, right? So everybody's sitting downstairs in the living room. I tell my dad, hey, come up here and look at this, it's really cool, blah, blah, blah. Well, I walk out, I step on the joist, and I step on the second joist. Well, there was insulation on the joist, and my foot slipped, and they're all downstairs, and all of a sudden I fall, and my leg goes all the way through all the way through their ceiling.
oh my god.
I mean,
Brand new.
so they're looking up, and all they see is a leg, literally hanging out of their ceiling.
Oh God.
Needless to say, I was pretty dramatic. I was pretty mortified for that one. 21, big idiot.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
I've only
actually funny.
I've only
It's like-
marginally, you know, outgrown the idiot, you know. That was pretty embarrassing.
That's really funny.
Yeah. So yeah. What else? What other thoughts? What other things you guys want to talk about?
What was like your favorite sport to play? Because I know you like played a lot of different sports.
Team sport, baseball, all the way. I weirdly enough, I do not enjoy the men's volleyball game. It's when you,
It's just like
No
nothing
rallies.
happens.
No.
Yeah, it's
No
just
rallies.
side out game.
no, the side out game all the way. How high do you jump? How hard do you serve? How hard do you hit? And that's it. I've actually been asked that before. Like, why do you coach the women's game over the men's game? Because the women's game is technical.
Yeah.
It's tactical. There's a, you know, you watch the game from last night. You know the U.S. versus Dominican Republic, and there are a lot of tactics that go on. Where the men's game, it's jump high, hit hard,
Yeah.
and you know, and be like a typical Neanderthal guy and grunt. You know, and that's the men's game, right? So team sport, baseball, if I'm playing it, and then individual sport, rock climbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing like being 1,000, 2,000 feet off the ground. You know, you're climbing higher than the birds are flying.
Yeah.
And that is like, the feeling of freedom up there is, you can't describe it unless you experience it. So yeah.
I don't think I could ever do that. Like, that is so high.
Yeah, but you just bite-sized chunks, you know,
Yeah.
little bite-sized chunks, and it's pretty.
Still.
I would be too scared.
I would be. I mean, roller coaster's fine, but like planes sometimes, but that's high.
Yeah.
I would look down and pass out.
I mean, you think about, okay, if you fall, what happens? Well, you don't feel it. Like, you hit the ground at that height, you don't feel it. It's over, right? So like that's reassuring. You know what I'm saying? If you fall
Yeah.
from like 60 feet,
Okay.
you're probably going to feel it, and you're probably not going to die right away. Then you're in trouble,
Yeah, you're like,
right? So that's a little scary. So, what do you guys hope this season entails? Like, what are you looking for in your, hopefully not last semester playing? What do you guys want to accomplish as individuals and as a team? What do you personally want?
Well, for me, as a team, I'll start with that. I have like high hopes. I'm really excited for this season, first of all, because just like the vibe and the energy, just like all of our new people coming in, like it just feels like really good. Like not a lot of negatives. Like I'm just really excited for that, and I really like want us to like take care of our own, like the must-win games, and like I want us to like earn our own spot in the conference tournament and not have to be like biting our fingernails watching like two teams hoping somebody loses so we make it in. Like I want us to secure a spot, and I like want us to like be playing the second or third seed. Like I don't want to be stuck playing like the fourth seed or the one seed, sorry, and like not be like not coming in last. Like I want to be able to like compete and like get to the second round, because we haven't done that yet, or I haven't been here when we've done that. So, and then personally, I just want to take a step up from last season, just numbers wise. Like I just want this to be a really good year for myself, just because last year was not what I wanted it to be. Like, and I want to be able to make first team all conference. That might be a big goal, but like I think I can do it. So
I know you can do it. So yeah, Zamira, what are your thoughts?
For the team, I think because we talked about it, it's like the same thing. We want to have a winning record, and that would be the first time since I've been here. So that would be a nice thing to do, and then actually compete in conference, because I think besides like one or two teams, we can beat all teams in a conference, and then actually make that happen this year, and not kind of freak out in the moment as a team, because I feel like we had many of those moments last year which like caused us to lose, even though we could have won. And then personally, just like a lot of like controlling my emotions, I guess, not getting too nervous before games, and just be like a stable player that others can rely on. Because I feel like in some games I had it last year, and in other games I couldn't do that, and I think it's important to have that on a team.
Yep, I agree. What do you guys do pregame? Do you have like a pregame ritual, pregame habit that you guys do?
Dance it out in the locker room. I mean, that's pretty consistent.
Do you guys ever use the strobe light and the lights that I put down there?
Yes, we do. Like almost every home game, like.
Do you turn the disco ball on?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The best game we had last year was Marshall, and before that we had a party.
Yes.
In the
we
locker
were
room.
like.
That's awesome.
I don't know if this is legal or not, but we were like chugging bang and like getting like juiced up, ready to go, and like just blaring music. Lights off, like everyone was just like getting into it, and we were hyped when we got back up here.
Yeah, I think I think there were a couple things last year that really helped in like the chemistry of the team. Emma's power pants and party pants.
Yeah, that was for sure.
I mean, that was one of the things. And what was so cool about it, and what's so cool about Emma, is like she is who she is regardless of who she's around. Like she never fakes it. Like she is, and that's not really a lot of people in our world nowadays. If they're around this group, they act this way. If they're around this group, they act that way. And Emma is who she is. And for her to find the confidence in herself that she found last year was absolutely special. And for her to wear the power pants and then the party pants, and then for you guys to always break your huddles down, well, not always, but a lot of times with big juice, you know?
Hulk smash.
You know, I just think that is a testimony to Emma's genuineness and how you guys care for her as a person, you know? It's awesome. Okay, who is, and in the pregame, you know, locker room stuff, who likes to be a little bit more reserved, and who's like the person you're like, you need to be a little bit more reserved? Like who's like really getting after
Sammy's
it?
reserved.
You're the crazy one.
Yeah, Deja's too though.
Yeah.
Deja's really like me and Deja are like the ones up dancing, and then we're like telling people to stand up.
Okay.
Deja's so funny.
Yeah.
How about when Deja taught you guys how to dance at UTEP a few years ago?
Oh, we did the Zumba.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
the
was so
Zumba.
It
funny.
was so much fun.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was funny.
So my pregame habit of what I do, watching pregame warm-ups make me anxious, so I do not watch pregame warm-ups. I usually come down, out of the office or come into the gym shortly before the coin flip or right after the coin flip.
Yeah.
That way, it's if there's been any kind of lack of focus, I don't see it, and then I always come up to Jenna and Taylor and I'm like, well, how'd they do? You would think if you want to know how they did, just sit there and watch.
Yeah.
But it's like hard for me to watch it.
Yeah.
So what I do is, if we're at home, I shut my office door, go over my scouting report again, make sure that I've got my game plan down and what adjustments I have to make, and then I pray. And if we're on the road, I take my Bible, I walk to the farthest part of the gym or the building, and again, just sit there and pray and read my Bible, and while you guys are warming up, and then get in the gym and try to beat people's brains in. So it's really nice. Like 1 minute you're like praying, Lord, please help us. Let's kill them.
Yeah.
So it's like really Christian-like, but yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, our pregame rituals are very different.
Yep,
It's okay though.
yep, a little bit, a little bit. Explain your day, day to day, because you guys have some pretty hard majors. What is it like to be, as school nerd as you both are? Because I don't think you've ever had a B, have you? Zabir, I mean, I can't even conceive of that. So, and you're a biology major. Explain what it's like to balance volleyball, academics, social life, whenever you do have a social life. What is it like to balance that? And how do you manage the stress of it?
I think it's a lot of time management. Like, I do write down like times when I want to do things in the day, just so I know this is when I have to get it done. And I think it was procrastinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that. Like, just get it done, get it out of the way, and then you're good to go, do the next thing. And then with social life, it just really depends on how good you are with managing like your academics and like volleyball, because you need to put like all that like effort and extra reps and stuff in. But I feel like if you just take care of that, there will be a small part of the day where you can actually go hang out with friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Basically what she said. I am still figuring out time management and procrastination, but it's okay because we're all growing. But yeah, time management is a really big thing. And like between like volleyball, school, sleep, and social life, like I don't know. For me, like during season and like I don't have one. Like I don't know. Like I don't even like try to. Like now, I feel like now is the time where we like can have one. Like summer, like we're in the gym for like a few hours, but then like have the rest of the day to like like go meet people or do stuff. But like I don't know. For me, like it's.
And that's that's the thing that I always struggle with as a being older, is that I know, having lived your life, that this and you are towards the end now. It's such a short window that you get to be a student athlete. And if you could tell your freshman self anything about taking extra reps, about the way to carry yourself, what would you tell your freshman self about volleyball? You know what I'm saying? Like how to be the best athlete. Forget the academic side for a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you be the best volleyball player? What would you tell your freshman self today?
To not follow negative energy, because I feel like my freshman year overall was really negative, and I kind of like just went down that path, and I didn't really do the extra stuff that I could have done freshman year. And then sophomore year, I kind of cut loose from that, so
Good.
like it didn't like take me forever to figure that out, but I feel like I kind of wasted my freshman year in a way, because I could have done more.
Yeah, that and how has the program changed from your freshman year to now?
Oh, you can't even compare it. Like freshman year was hard. Like I didn't really like the team. I didn't get along with my teammates, and the culture was really bad. And then starting sophomore year, it was a completely different feeling. We actually felt like a family, and we're just saying it. So, and then ever since then, it's just been going up, I think.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So don't wait.
Yeah.
And don't follow negative energy.
Yes. Don't wait on others, just do yourself.
Just do your thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Kayla, what would you say? Zamir, I agree. What would you say?
For me, I feel like my freshman year was, well, one, a lot different than yours, but like also different from like the standpoint of like kind of the role I played. Like I was a freshman and like needing to like I was playing. Like, I don't know if that's normal, but for me, that was like a lot for me. Like being like a 6 rotation player, like having to like carry a small load still was like a lot for me. So like, I think something that I would just tell myself is to just like everything's okay, like be confident, like you're on the court for a reason, like don't freak out when like things don't go your way, because like that happened, I feel like, a lot for me.
Yeah. I think it was probably pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. Okay. What else? You guys have any more thoughts, any more questions about anything?
I don't know about anything else.
No. Why am I so cool?
Yeah, I've been thinking that this whole time.
Nobody
The whole
knows.
time. Just
Is it because you're bald?
bald and beautiful, baby. What's up? Well, listen, guys. My hope and expectation this year is, number one, that you keep building memories, but it's on the court. It's to win. I mean, it's to win.
Yeah.
You know, we're finally at a really good spot, and that's the part that, as a coach, you work so hard to build it. And you go through your growing pains, but you work so hard to build it, and now we're here. You know, and so that's important to me. But what I'm looking forward to is, you know, from a leadership captain standpoint, how do you two kind of mentor the younger kids? Do you take the lessons you've learned and do you help the younger players grow and not kind of fall into the pitfalls that maybe you fell into? Either anxiety, putting too much pressure on yourself, not being able to come off mistakes. Like those things are, you know, that'll be fun for me to see how you guys kind of mentor some of the younger players, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and in terms of culture and family, keep building what has already, you know, where the foundation's already there. Like in the first year or two, the foundation wasn't there, but now the foundation's there. And watching you continue to develop for the players that are coming in. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be fun also. But yeah, other than that, guys, I love spending time with you guys. You guys know that I think that there are a lot of head coaches who they talk fly on my head like Mike Pence when he had that fly on his head. I think there's a lot of coaches who they care about their athletes, but you guys know this, that I'm not afraid to tell you that I love you, and I mean that with all my heart. I mean, and you guys know it. You know, if somebody walked in this gym and tried to hurt you guys, it'd be on like Donkey Kong. You know, it would be on. You know, my hope is that as you guys grow into the women, continue to grow in the women you want to be, that that if you ever need anything, that you know that myself, Jenna, and Taylor were always here for you. Whether it's this year or whether it's Zamira, if you do leave us and you graduate, that when you're in medical school in Germany, that you know, you need to talk, pick up the phone and call. You know, that's super important to me. So, but other than that, guys, I love talking with you. I cannot wait until Sunday to start our season, and Monday for our first practice. So, other than that, that's it.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Then get out of here.
All right. Let's go.
All right.
Oh, okay. So shoe time.
Oh
true.
yes, I cannot.
And that
wait.
fly is still on my head.
Looked for shoes for 3 hours. Didn't find any.